Impact Point Zero. A sci-fi story. Part 1. I hit the ground so hard the world folds in half. There's no sound at first, just a violent, concussive pressure that slams through my skull and ribs like a fist made of atmosphere. Then the noise catches up. A metallic shriek, a roar of tearing hull plating, the howl of superheated air. My restraints snap. My helmet cracks against the console. The cabin spins, or maybe I do. Then everything stops. A single, shrill alarm cuts through the ringing in my ears. Radiation alert. Radiation alert. Radiation alert. My suit's dosimeter is screaming. Not beeping. Screaming. A continuous, rising tone that means leave immediately or die very soon. I suck in a breath that tastes like copper and burnt insulation. Okay. I whisper to myself. Move. I shove the emergency release. The cockpit canopy, warped from the crash, resists for a moment before blowing outward in a burst of steam and fractured glass. Cold air floods in, colder than it should be for a planet this close to its star. My visor autopolarizes, dimming the blinding blue glow outside. Blue. Everything is glowing blue. I drag myself out of the wreckage and drop into powdery soil that crunches like frost under my boots. The crater stretches around me in a perfect circle, its edges shimmering with a faint, electric haze. The ground pulses with a soft, bioluminescent radiance, as if the planet itself is breathing. My dosimeter spikes again. Radiation levels critical. Seek shelter. Yeah, I mutter. Working on it. I stagger away from the ship, each step sending a jolt of pain up my left leg. Something's torn in the thigh, muscle or suit lining, I can't tell. My vision swims. The blue glow intensifies the farther I get from the wreck, like the crater is a wound leaking light. Above me, the sky is a deep, bruised violet. No clouds, no moons, just a faint dusting of stars and a thin auroral ribbon that flickers like a dying filament. Planet designation, XR17. Survey status, uninhabited. Assigned personnel, 1. Me. So why are there footprints? I freeze. They're 10 meters ahead, pressed clearly into the glowing soil. Human-sized, human-shaped, leading away from the crash site in a steady, purposeful line. My throat tightens. I'm the first one here, I say aloud, as if the planet needs reminding. No one else was cleared. No one else even knew the landing window. The footprints don't care. They continue toward the jagged ridge to the east, disappearing into a narrow cleft between two basalt outcroppings. My dosimeter wails again, louder this time. Radiation levels rising. Seek shelter immediately. Fine, I hiss. Shelter first. Mystery later. But the footprints are heading toward the only visible shelter. I limp after them. The cleft. The ridge towers above me like a broken tooth, its surface veined with the same faint blue luminescence as the crater. The air hums with static. My suit's filtration system crackles, struggling to compensate. The cleft is narrow, barely wide enough for me to squeeze through. The moment I step inside, the dosimeter's tone drops from a scream to a rapid, anxious beeping. Better. Not good, but better. The passage slopes downward, the walls tightening around me. The glow fades. Darkness creeps in. My helmet lamps flicker on automatically, casting long, jittering shadows. The footprints continue. They're fresher here. Sharper. Less eroded by the wind. Whoever made them pass through recently. Hours ago, maybe less. I swallow hard. Hello! My voice echoes strangely, as if the rock is swallowing the sound. If anyone can hear me, I'm not hostile. I just crashed. I need. A faint sound interrupts me. Not an echo. A whisper. I spin, heart hammering. The beam of my helmet lamp cuts across the stone walls, illuminating nothing but rough basalt and dust. The whisper comes again. Soft, indistinct, like someone speaking from behind a thick door. I take a step forward. The whisper stops. The footprints continue. I follow. The chamber. The cleft opens suddenly into a cavern so large my helmet lamps barely reach the far walls. The air is warmer here, tinged with a metallic scent. My dosimeter quiets to a low, steady tick. In the center of the chamber stands a structure. Not natural, not geological. A tower of interlocking plates, each one etched with patterns that shift when I try to focus on them. The whole thing pulses with a slow, rhythmic glow, not blue like the crater, but a deep, warm amber. The footprints lead straight to it. I approach cautiously, every instinct screaming at me to turn back. The tower hums softly, vibrating through the soles of my boots. My visor displays a cascade of warnings, unknown energy signatures, magnetic anomalies, thermal fluctuations. I reach out a hand. The whisper returns. Louder, clearer. It's my voice. Don't touch it. I jerk my hand back as if burned. The whisper stops. My breath fogs the inside of my visor. Okay, I say shakily. That's new. I circle the structure, keeping a careful distance. The footprints stop at the base, then vanish. Not fading, not turning back, just ending. As if the person who made them stepped into the tower and ceased to exist. I crouch, examining the ground. No disturbance. No drag marks. No sign of a body. Just termination. My suit's internal temperature spikes suddenly. A wave of heat washes over me, followed by a sharp, stabbing pain behind my eyes. I stagger back, clutching my helmet. The tower's glow intensifies. The whisper returns. Not my voice this time, but something layered, fractured, like multiple people speaking at once. Impact. 0. Return. Return. I grit my teeth. Return where? The whisper stops. The tower dims. My dosimeter begins to scream again. Radiation levels critical. Evacuate. I stumble backward, nearly tripping over a loose stone. The cavern walls pulse with blue light, the same glow as the crater, now seeping inward like a rising tide. I need to move. I need to get out. I turn toward the cleft and freeze. There's someone standing in the passage. A silhouette. Human. Helmeted. Motionless. My heart slams against my ribs. Hey! I shout. I see you. Are you? The figure tilts its head. The gesture is wrong. Too slow. Too deliberate. My suit's biometric sensors spike. Warning. Unknown life form detected. The figure steps forward. I raise my hands instinctively. Identify yourself. It doesn't. It keeps walking. The whispering begins again. Louder, harsher, echoing from every direction. Impact. 0. Return. 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 The figure reaches the edge of my lamp's beam, and I see its visor. Cracked. Empty. No face inside. Just darkness. I stumble back, pulse racing. What the hell are you? The figure stops. The whispering cuts off. Silence. Then the figure raises its hand, slowly, mechanically, and points behind me, toward the tower. I shake my head. No. No, I'm not going near that thing. The figure doesn't move. It just points. My dosimeter shrieks. The cavern walls flare with blue light. The ground trembles. The figure lowers its hand, turns, and walks back into the cleft, vanishing into the darkness without a sound. I stand frozen for several seconds, chest heaving, mind racing. Then the tower pulses again. A deep, resonant thrum that vibrates through my bones. The amber glow brightens. My visor flickers. A new message appears on the HUD. Impact point 0. Data required. What data? I whisper. The tower answers with another pulse. My suit's systems glitch. The dosimeter resets. The oxygen gauge flickers. My comms crackle with static. Then a new sound emerges. Footsteps. Behind me. Slow. Deliberate. Human. I turn. There's no one there. But the footprints have returned. A new set. Leading away from the tower. Leading deeper into the cavern. Leading somewhere I do not want to go. I swallow hard. Shelter first. I whisper. Mystery later. But the truth is already sinking in. There is no shelter. There is only the mystery, and it's waiting for me. Deeper. I follow the new footprints because I don't have a choice. The radiation levels outside the cavern are lethal. My ship is a wreck. My suit is failing. And the only thing in this entire planet that seems to respond to me, the only thing that seems to know I'm here, is the tower. The footprints lead to a narrow tunnel branching off from the main chamber. The air grows warmer as I descend, the walls smoother, almost polished. My helmet lamps flicker again, struggling to maintain power. The whispering returns, faint, rhythmic, like breathing. I try to ignore it. The tunnel widens into a smaller chamber. At the center lies a pool of liquid, dark, reflective, perfectly still. The footprints stop at its edge. I kneel, shining my lamp across the surface. My reflection stares back at me. Then it blinks. I jerk away, heart pounding. The reflection doesn't move. It's just me again. I exhale shakily. Get it together, I mutter. You're hallucinating. Radiation poisoning. Stress. Concussion. Pick one. But the reflection had blinked. I'm sure of it. I lean closer. The surface ripples. A voice rises from the water. My voice, but distorted, stretched thin. Return. I scramble back, slipping on the smooth stone. The pool begins to glow, amber like the tower. The whispering intensifies. Impact. 0. Data. Return. I shake my head violently. No, I'm not returning anywhere. I need to get off this planet. The pool pulses. My visor displays a new message. Data incomplete. Proceed. Proceed where? The footprints answer for me. A new set appears, forming in real time, as if invisible feet are pressing into the stone. They lead to another tunnel, deeper still. I stare at them, dread coiling in my stomach. I don't want to go down there. The whispering stops. The cavern goes silent. Then a single word echoes through the chamber. Not whispered, but spoken clearly, loudly, in a voice that is unmistakably human. Liar. My blood runs cold. I stand. I follow the footprints. The descent. The tunnel spirals downward, the air growing hotter with each step. My suit's cooling system struggles, warning lights flashing across my HUD. The stone walls shift subtly, as if the entire structure is breathing. The whispering returns, softer now, almost coaxing. Impact. 0. Return. I grit my teeth. Stop saying that. The whispering continues. Return. Return. Quicken my pace. The tunnel ends abruptly at a metal door. Human-made. Impossible. I run my gloved hand across its surface. The metal is warm, vibrating faintly. A small panel beside the door flickers to life, displaying a single line of text. Welcome back, Commander Ria Morrow. My breath catches. That's not my name. The panel flickers. Welcome back, Commander Ria Morrow. I'm not. The door slides open. Amber light spills out. I step inside. The lab. The room is a laboratory, or what's left of one. Shattered consoles, burned-out monitors, scorched walls. The air smells of ozone and decay. My helmet lamps sweep across the wreckage, illuminating broken glass and twisted metal. And bodies. 3 of them. Human. Or close enough. Their suits are similar to mine but older, bulkier, marked with insignias I don't recognize. Their visors are shattered. Their skin, what's left of it, is pale, almost translucent, with faint blue veins glowing beneath the surface. Radiation burns. Severe. Fatal. I swallow hard. I'm the first person ever assigned to this planet. I whisper. So who the hell are you? A console sparks to life behind me. I spin. A video feed flickers onto the cracked screen. A woman appears. Helmet off. Eyes hollow. Skin glowing faintly blue. She looks directly into the camera. Directly at me. Impact point 0 is compromised, she says. If you're seeing this, you've already been exposed. The radiation isn't natural. It's a signal. A carrier wave. It rewrites. The feed distorts. Her face twists. Her voice fractures. Don't trust your suit. Don't trust your memory. Don't trust. The screen goes black. I stand frozen, heart pounding, mind racing. Don't trust your memory. The whispering rises again. Louder, harsher, echoing through the lab. Return, return, return. I back away from the console. The bodies on the floor shift, just slightly, as if something inside them is still moving. I turn toward the door and see the figure from the cavern standing in the doorway. Helmet cracked, visor empty, pointing at me. Again. I raise my hands. Stay back. It doesn't move. It just points. Then it speaks. In my voice. Return. My blood turns to ice. I stumble backward, knocking over a metal tray. Instruments scatter across the floor with a clatter. The figure steps forward. I retreat until my back hits the console. The figure stops an arm's length away. Then it tilts its head, the same slow, deliberate motion as before. Return, it repeats. I shake my head violently. No, I'm not going anywhere with you. The figure lowers its hand. Then it reaches up and removes its helmet. I scream. Part 2. The helmet comes off with a brittle crack, fragments of the visor falling like ice. What's underneath is not a face. Not anymore. The skin is translucent, stretched thin over a skull that seems too angular, too elongated. Blue light pulses beneath the surface like veins full of liquid fire. The eyes, or where the eyes should be, are hollow sockets filled with swirling amber light, the same color as the tower. I choke on a breath. The thing tilts its head again, and the amber in its sockets flares. Return? It says in my voice, but the sound is layered now, my tone wrapped around something deeper, older, resonant. I press myself against the console, fingers scrambling for anything I can use as a weapon. A shard of metal, a broken tool, anything. My hand closes around a cracked data tablet. Not ideal, but better than nothing. Stay back, I warn. The creature steps closer. I swing. The tablet shatters against its shoulder, pieces scattering across the floor. The creature barely reacts. It lifts one hand, slow, deliberate, and places it gently against my helmet. My visor flickers. My HUD glitches. A new message appears. Data transfer initiated. No, stop. A surge of heat floods through my skull. My vision whites out. My knees buckle. I collapse to the floor, convulsing as the creature's hand remains pressed to my helmet. Images flash through my mind, too fast to process, too bright to ignore. A ship descending through violet clouds. A team of 4 stepping onto glowing soil. A tower rising from the ground like a blooming flower. A wave of blue light sweeping across the crater. Screams. Silence. Amber eyes opening in the dark. Then, a voice. Not mine. Not human. Impact point 0 must be completed. The heat vanishes. The creature releases me. I gasp, sucking in air like I've been drowning. My vision swims. The lab tilts. The creature steps back, watching me with those hollow amber eyes. What did you do to me? It doesn't answer. Instead, it raises its hand again, not to touch me, but to point. Not at the tower this time. At the far wall of the lab. A section of scorched metal slides open with a hiss, revealing a corridor bathed in amber light. The creature steps aside, inviting me, or hurting me. I don't know which, but I know one thing. If I stay here, I die. I push myself to my feet, legs trembling, and limp toward the corridor. The creature watches me go. It doesn't follow. The corridor. The air grows hotter as I move deeper, the walls vibrating with a low, rhythmic hum. My suit's cooling system whines in protest. Sweat pools at the base of my neck. My visor flickers again. Data integration, 12%. I grit my teeth. What data? What are you doing to me? No answer. The corridor slopes downward, curving gently until it opens into a vast chamber. Larger than the first cavern, larger than anything I've seen on this planet. And at its center stands another tower. This one is different. Taller, brighter, alive. Amber light pulses through its plates like a heartbeat. The air around it shimmers with heat and static. The floor is covered in footprints, dozens of them, all leading toward the tower. Human footprints, some small, some large, some overlapping, all ending at the base, just like before. My stomach twists. How many people came here? A console near the tower flickers to life as I approach. The screen displays a single line of text. Welcome back, Commander Ria Morrow. I slam my fist against the console. That's not my name. The text flickers. Identity confirmed. No, it's not. I'm not her. The console responds instantly. You will be. A chill runs down my spine despite the heat. My visor updates again. Data integration. 23%. I stumble back. No, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. The tower pulses. The hum deepens. The air thickens. And the whispering returns. Not from the walls, not from the tower, but from inside my helmet. Inside my head. Impact. 0. Complete. Return. I clutch my helmet, shaking my head violently. Get out of my mind. The whispering stops. The tower goes silent. Then a new sound echoes through the chamber. Footsteps. Not mine. I turn. 3 figures emerge from the shadows. Their suits are torn, their visors cracked, their skin glowing faintly blue. Their movements are slow, jerky, as if they're puppets pulled by invisible strings. Their eyes, or what's left of them, burn with amber light. They surround me. I back away until my shoulders hit the tower. The figures stop an arm's length away. Then, in perfect unison, they speak. Return. I shake my head. No. They step closer. Return. I raise my hands defensively. I'm not her. I'm not Ria Morrow. The figures tilt their heads. The same slow, unnatural motion as the first creature. Then they speak again. Not yet. My blood turns to ice. The tower pulses. My visor updates. Data integration. 31%. I scream. The pulse. The tower erupts with light. Amber floods the chamber, blinding, searing, burning through my visor. The ground shakes. The air vibrates. The figures around me convulse, their bodies twisting as the light intensifies. I drop to my knees, hands over my helmet, teeth clenched against the pain. The whispering becomes a roar. Impact point 0. Complete the cycle. Return. Return. My visor cracks. A thin line of light slices across my vision. I scream again. Then, silence. The light fades. The shaking stops. I open my eyes. The figures are gone. The chamber is empty. The tower stands silent. Its glow dimmed to a faint pulse. My visor displays a new message. Data integration paused. I collapse onto my back, gasping for air. What is happening to me? A voice answers. Not from the tower. Not from the walls. From behind me. You're becoming what we couldn't. I sit up sharply. A woman stands at the edge of the chamber. Helmet off. Skin pale. Eyes glowing amber. But unlike the others, she looks intact. Human. Almost. She steps forward, her movements smooth, controlled. I'm Ria Morrow, she says. My heart stops. No, that's impossible. You're dead? You're all dead. She smiles sadly. We were. Then we weren't. Then we were something else. She kneels beside me. You're the first one the tower chose willingly. I shake my head violently. I didn't choose anything. You came here, she says softly. You followed the footprints. You touched the signal. You accepted the data. I didn't. She places a hand on my shoulder. Her touch is warm. Too warm. You're already changing, she whispers. I can see it. I shove her hand away and scramble to my feet. Stay back. She doesn't move. You can't run from this, she says. The radiation isn't killing you. It's rewriting you. I freeze. What? She gestures to the tower. It's not a reactor. It's not a beacon. It's a seed, and you're the soil. My stomach twists. No. No. I'm getting off this planet. I'm calling for evac. You can't leave, she says gently. Not anymore. My visor flickers. Data integration. 32%. I slam my fist against the helmet. Stop it. Rhea watches me with something like pity. It won't stop. Not until you're complete. I back away slowly. I'm not becoming one of you. She tilts her head. You already are. The escape attempt. I run. I don't think. I don't plan. I just run. Back through the corridor. Back through the lab. Back toward the cleft. My suit screams warnings. Heat. Radiation. Structural integrity. My lungs burn. My vision blurs. But I keep moving. I burst into the first cavern. The blue glow of the crater seeping through the walls like veins of light. The exit is ahead. The cleft. Freedom. I sprint toward it and slam into an invisible wall. I rebound violently, crashing onto my back. Pain explodes through my ribs. My visor cracks further. I scramble to my feet and press my hands against the barrier. It's smooth, warm, humming with energy. A containment field. No. No, no, no. Footsteps echo behind me. Slow. Measured. I turn. Rhea stands at the entrance to the chamber, flanked by the three figures from before. You can't leave, she says softly. Not until the cycle is complete. I pound my fists against the barrier. Let me out. Rhea shakes her head. You're not trapped, she says. You're being protected. From what? She steps closer. From the planet. I stare at her. What are you talking about? She gestures to the glowing walls. This world isn't dead. It's not empty. It's alive, and it wants to survive. I shake my head. You're insane. She smiles sadly. So were we. At first, the figures behind her step forward. Their amber eyes flare. Rhea extends her hand. Come back to the tower, she says. Finish the integration. Become part of the cycle. I back away until my shoulders hit the barrier. No. Rhea's expression hardens. It wasn't a request. The figures advance. I brace myself. Then, the ground shakes. Violently, dust falls from the ceiling. The walls pulse with blue light. The tower's hum rises in pitch, becoming a shrill, piercing tone. Rhea's eyes widen. No, not now. The figures stagger. The barrier flickers. I don't hesitate. I throw myself at the cleft. The barrier collapses. I tumble through the opening and into the passage beyond. Behind me, Rhea screams. Come back. I run. The surface. The moment I emerge from the cleft, the dosimeter explodes into a continuous scream. The blue glow of the crater is brighter now, pulsing, rising, spreading across the ground like a living tide. My ship is half buried in the glowing soil, its hull melting, warping, dissolving. The sky flickers with amber lightning. The air tastes metallic. I stumble toward the wreckage, coughing, vision blurring. I need shelter. I need distance. I need. A voice echoes across the crater. You can't escape the signal. I turn. Rhea stands at the edge of the cleft, her eyes blazing, her skin glowing brighter than before. You're part of it now, she says. You always were. I shake my head. No. She steps forward. The ground pulses beneath her feet. The cycle began long before you arrived, she says. We didn't choose you. The planet did. My visor flickers. Data integration. 47%. I scream in frustration. Get out of my head. Rhea raises her hand. Amber light gathers in her palm. You can't fight it, she says. You can only return. The light surges. I dive behind a fragment of hull plating as the blast hits the ground where I stood, sending a shockwave of heat and dust into the air. I crawl toward the ship, lungs burning, suit failing. Another blast hits nearby. Rhea's voice echoes across the crater. Return. I reach the ship, The cockpit is gone. The hull is warped. But the emergency beacon, it's intact. Barely. I slam my hand onto the activation panel. Nothing. I hit it again. A spark. A flicker. Then, a faint, weak signal. Not enough to reach orbit, but enough to trigger the ship's last failsafe. The ground beneath the wreckage begins to vibrate. Rhea stops. Her eyes widen. No, you don't understand what you're doing. I press the beacon again. The vibration intensifies. The soil cracks. Amber light pours from the fissures. Rhea screams. Stop! I look up at her. No! The ground erupts. The revelation. I'm thrown backward as a column of amber light shoots into the sky, tearing through the crater, the clouds, the atmosphere. The air vibrates. The radiation spikes. My visor shatters completely. I shield my eyes with my arm. The light expands. The crater collapses. The tower's hum becomes a roar. Rhea falls to her knees, clutching her head. No, no, it's too soon. The amber column pulses. A voice booms across the planet. Not human. Not alien. Something in between. Impact point 0. Cycle reset. Rhea screams. The figures in the cavern scream. The ground screams. My suit fails. My lungs burn. My vision fades. The last thing I see is Rhea reaching toward me, her face twisted in terror. You've doomed us all. Then, darkness. Aftermath. I wake to silence. Cold. Dark. My visor is gone. My helmet cracked. My suit offline. But I'm alive. I sit up slowly. The crater is gone. The blue glow is gone. The towers are gone. The radiation is gone. The sky is clear. The air is breathable. I remove my helmet. The air tastes clean. Fresh. Alive. I stand trembling. The landscape around me is transformed. No longer glowing, no longer pulsing, no longer hostile. It looks new. A voice whispers behind me. Return. I turn. Rhea stands at the edge of the clearing. Human. Fully human. No glow. No amber eyes. No radiation burns. She looks at her hands in wonder. It reset, she whispers. The cycle reset. I stare at her. What does that mean? She looks up at me. It means the planet chose you. I step back. No, I didn't choose anything. She smiles softly. You completed impact point 0. I shake my head. I don't understand. You will, she says. In time. She gestures to the horizon, where a new tower is rising from the ground. Amber light pulsing. Calling. Rhea turns to me. Come on, she says. It's time to begin again. I stare at the tower, at the rising light, at the new footprints forming in the soil, leading toward it. My footprints. I swallow hard and follow. This is the end of the sci-fi story, Impact Point 0. Leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe for more sci-fi stories. Thanks for listening.